I've been blind since birth. I weighed in at birth, weighed in at a pound and 15 ounces. Yeah, Amy lost her eyesight because of the type 2 diabetes, which we're working very hard to reverse.
Kerry here from Homestead How. I'm editing this in the vehicle right now, and I just had a wonderful interview with Shane and Amy. I'm going to show you a few clips from what's going to happen in today's episode right after this, but please stay tuned until the end. I'm trying to help Shane and Amy build up their YouTube channel and get a GoFundMe account going. They're just the two of the nicest people, and they're both carnivores, and well, you'll see in today's video. So here's a few clips from the episode, and then you're going to want to listen to this entire story. Shane and Amy have one heck of a story to share on their carnivore journey. Let's go.
I've been blind since birth. I weighed in at birth, weighed in at a pound and 15 ounces, and the doctors told my mom I wouldn't live 10 minutes, and if I lived at all, I'd be a complete vegetable. But I also have cerebral palsy, which means I don't walk pretty much at all. Just incredible that that these things can happen just from, as Dr. Berry would say, eating a proper human diet. The sleep apnea just went away. I would love for us to get some more meat in here because sometimes I feel like we're not eating enough in one sitting. And, because we can only afford a certain amount at this point in time, we just have to eat and eat sparingly so that we don't run out. We've all become brainwashed to all this medical crap. We're not gonna continue to live like that. We're gonna eat like we're supposed to. We're gonna get healthy. We're gonna get strong, and we're gonna show the world what we're made of. Oh yeah. Carnivores are tough.
Yes, for sure.
We are too blessed to be stressed.
All right. And so you both are blind.
Yes, both of us totally blind.
And you recently started doing YouTube as well.
Correct.
All right. Wow. So you're carnivores and you're YouTubers. I like you both already. What could you tell us a little bit about maybe your background or how you met?
Yeah, and I should also say, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody. Well, even if it does, we're sorry, but we're both strong Christians. So
likewise, love to hear it.
So anyway, I'm gonna let the lady go first.
I guess it was 2003 when I went to Chris Cole.
And for those that don't know,
it's in Austin. The Chris Cole is the school for the blind.
Well, it's actually the Chris Cole Rehabilitation Center is what it is, and it's for people that either have been blind from birth or have gone blind recently as of from some unfortunate happening, and it's a rehabilitation center, and they help blind people who need assistance transitioning or learning how to live as blind people in a sighted world.
Okay.
Right. You learn your cooking, how to cook and braille and mobility and just everyday living.
Adaptive computer skills, because we have to use computers and phones and stuff just a little bit differently than sighted folks do.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, I have so many questions about all of that. Like getting here on this live stream, like how does all that work?
Well, all I did was Amy had the email and she sent it to me with your link in it. And I use Thunderbird as my email client on my computer. And so I pulled up Thunderbird, and you won't be able to hear it right at the moment because I've got it running through headphones, but I use a screen reader called NVDA. It stands for Non-Visual Desktop Access. And it allows me to use my computer's keyboard to navigate throughout the computer. Now, whether it's a web page or an email, or if I'm doing audio production, which I've been known to do from time to time, And so it allows us to do just about anything with a computer that a sighted person would do, except for maybe work with pictures and or graphics.
It tells us everything that's on the screen.
Yeah. So when when you're sitting there looking at your computer screen, figuring out what's where, we've got NVDA telling us pretty much the exact same thing.
Wow.
See, I have a desktop computer, but with mine, I don't even have a monitor.
Huh.
Because the software on it, it tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah, so a blind person really doesn't need a monitor per se.
Right. Wow. That's so interesting. Does it get frustrating, or is the software pretty good that you can do it? Because I'd imagine, like, okay, you have this link for this video we're doing now. You got to find the link. It reads it to you, and then you just say open the link, or how does that part work?
Well, I used, for example, my arrow keys to find the beginning of the link, and then I hit my space bar on my computer's keyboard, and it opens up the link, and I just navigate, put our names in there in the headline or name box or whatever the heck it's called, and just found the Enter Studio button and hit my space bar, and it activated that button. So,
wow.
Yeah, because we don't even use a mouse.
Right. Wow.
yeah,
That's so interesting. I'm sorry, this is probably just normal everyday stuff for both of you, but it's really interesting because I've done a lot of these videos with folks, and a lot of people have trouble with the mouse and the screen getting into some of these streams. So you have no mouse or screen, and you're able to get in here and do this. So that sure is something. Wow. So you both met around 20 years ago or so?
well, we met. Well, our first meeting ever was on the phone. A mutual friend of ours introduced us, and so we just talked on the phone for a little bit, and then that just kind of, once that phone call ended, things just kind of went by the wayside, because at that point in time I was dating somebody and really wanted to make that relationship work. And of course, a few years later, it ended up fizzling. And so, and then we saw each other, I think, for the first time at a.
Actually, I was already married at that point.
Yeah. Amy was already married at that point. She found somebody at that Chris Cole place that she was going to. She found somebody there and ended up marrying him. And they were married from like 05 up until
2011.
Yeah, 2011, and then he passed away. And so then a little bit after that, she and I started talking again, and then she came to visit in March of 2012, and basically never left. And we got married in October. It'll be 19th of October of 2013. So
coming up on 10 years.
It'll be 10 years this October we've been married.
Don't forget, Shane, 10 years. That's a big one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wow. And so, wow, I have so many questions. So you've been together for 10 years now. And how did you guys come about Carnivore?
Well, it's kind of crazy because back in, was it 2013?
Yeah.
When we kind of started some of this.
Sorry.
I had ran across actually Kelly Hogan, because I think that's about the time she had got started, and Dr. Berry. And I was like, what kind of craziness is this? 0 carb. And so we kind of looked at it, but we didn't really do anything with it. We ended up eating, like a lot of the vegetables and stuff like that, because we ran across books and stuff we were listening to. And of course that worked for a while, and then we fell off the wagon. And
yeah, we did the whole vegan thing for I don't even think we lasted a year on that thing. And We were like,
Um, but I ran across Ken Berry again. Well, I guess before we started this 2 months ago, and somehow we just fell into it.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
Dr. Berry sure is something. I think so many
Yeah,
people found their way to carnivore through him.
yeah, him and Dr. Sean Baker.
yeah,
Right.
And, between Baker and Barry and Dr. Chaffee, and I think there's a Dr. Hampton, Tony Hampton out of Chicago.
Yes. You've been doing carnivore for like 2 months now. What sort of changes have you noticed over the last 2 months?
Well, well, for one thing, I used to have really bad sleep apnea,
Hmm.
much as you did, I think. And I mean, I went through all the sleep studies, and they wanted to give me a CPAP machine and all this crap. And I wasn't having it. I knew that I needed help, but I just couldn't bear wearing a mask on my face all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, this is BS. There's got to be a better way than this. And so, and especially once we started carnivore and started eating more healthy in general, uh, the sleep apnea just went away. I and I also don't know if you know any of this, but I also have cerebral palsy, which means I don't walk pretty much at all. Um, I'm in a chair, so I scoot around most of the time in a chair. Um, but there were times when I would get like I think they call it restless leg, where your legs spasm at night,
Right.
and that is mostly gone now too.
Wow.
And now with Amy being type 2 diabetic, um, she was having her own set of issues, and I believe
that's
most
come down a lot.
most of them have either been drastically reduced or completely gone.
Hmm.
And we can only believe that there, whatever still remains to be fixed, if you will, um, it'll happen over time as we continue this lifestyle.
Yeah, because it didn't happen overnight.
Nope, it didn't. It took years for us to get ourselves messed up, and it's probably going to take hopefully not that much time to fix ourselves. So
Yeah. I'm so happy for both of you because yeah, I had the sleep apnea for years and I went through having that mask on my face and I hated it. And it was amazing. None of my sleep doctors ever mentioned inflammation as a possible cause for snoring. I was
mhm.
always under the impression it was just because I was 100 pounds heavier than I am now. I was overweight. The only solution that I was ever told was you got to lose all that weight. But I stopped snoring before I lost most of my weight. And it was
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
just
very
inflammation, just inflammation.
yeah.
All those years I was on that CPAP machine too. I really, if I wish I would have known that. That's why I always try to get the word out to people. If you snore or have a loved one that snores, just give this thing a try. Try it for a week. Dr. Jordan Peterson stopped snoring the first week, and it was the same thing for me. I was just like right away, I stopped snoring, and that's life changing for so many people.
Oh yeah. And so it's just incredible that these things can happen
yeah,
just from, as Dr. Berry would say, eating a proper human diet.
Well, and you guys are around day 60 or so. I'm a little bit ahead of you. I'm around day 140. But Dr. Chafee, he was telling me like right around your time, day 50 or 60. He's like, Carrie, you just wait. It gets better and better. And I thought he was exaggerating because I felt so good by day 60, especially compared to how I felt prior to that, because I was in really bad shape before
yeah.
that with the
I
sleep
felt
apnea
absolutely,
and the
I felt
depression.
absolutely horrible.
Yeah, but he was telling the truth because from day 60, I remember around day 75 or 80, my mood just got way better. And then around day 100, everything was better. Like no aches and pains. My sleep was just great. I noticed that my resting face kind of changed. I used to hold all my stress and tension kind of in my jaw. I'd grind my teeth at night, and I was always kind of like gritting my teeth as just kind of my resting face. And it kind of changed, and now I just naturally smile more. My whole jaw's relaxed and everything. And there's just all these weird. You almost have to take note of these things because all these things start piling up. They start to become normal after a while. But
Yeah, and sometimes they happen so quick you really don't notice them until after the fact.
yes. Now, have either of you two noticed anything? A thing that I noticed before, and a lot of people have, is brain fog, where you'd have
Oh yeah.
trouble thinking or finding your words or things like that. And that's really gone away for me on carnivore. I don't know if you've experienced that at all.
Yes, we have
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
And, also just having overall better energy, um, and not being tired all the time
Yeah.
or not getting tired as quickly as easily.
Right? Yeah, that's wonderful. The brain fog thing too was interesting for me because I didn't really realize I had it. It was so many years of being like that was just my new normal. And it wasn't until it was gone and I could think clearly that I realized, wow, I was really in a fog before this. It's
Yeah.
I think there's lots of things like that people realize on carnivore. I had this lower back pain too for years and years and years. And I was just like, well, must have injured my back. It's just always going to be like that. And that went away on carnivore too. But that was my new normal before as well. So,
Wow. Yeah. And it's just, I mean, we haven't yet met a lot of these folks yet. Uh, of course, yourself included, and we hope to do that one day. And but we feel like a part of the carnivore family already.
oh, yes, that's wonderful. The carnivore family, the carnivore community is just amazing. I've been doing YouTube videos for 8 years on all sorts of different topics, but I'm hooked on the carnivore videos just because the community is so wonderful. And I think it has a lot to do with just kind of like you said with Dr. Barry, eating the proper human diet. You become more of a natural human. And it's just
Right.
carnivores are more pleasant, better mood, happier people. I don't know what it is, but every carnivore, yourselves included, that I've met, I always end up really liking and becoming friends with. There's just something about it.
Yeah,
I think
and
it's because we're not eating all of that processed stuff, all that sugar that we were consuming. I think that has a lot to do with our moods. Because
Yeah,
I noticed a big change once we kicked all of that to the curb.
right. Yeah, that sugar puts such a toll on people's bodies and they don't
yeah,
realize it.
it does, and you don't realize it until after you've given it up.
Right.
Right.
Now, the one thing we do drink, other than plenty of water, we drink water like a fiend around here, and but we drink those element drinks. Have you tried those?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I have those regularly.
Yeah, we do too. Sometimes more than one a day.
Yep.
I
So
think
do you
I'm a
do
big.
the flavored ones or the raw ones or a little bit of both?
We get the raw ones in the sample packs that we get, but we've been getting the flavored ones. I think this last time we in our last batch of them we got watermelon and raspberry and chocolate and
Citrus.
citrus.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried those with my daughter Emma, who was the vegan that turned into a carnivore.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made some popsicles with the watermelon flavor one day. That was actually pretty fun, pretty
Oh,
good.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, she was getting creative with it, but yeah, those are good.
Now, with the raw unflavored ones, as we understand it, you can use some of that to cook with if you wanted to, if you like to salt your meat and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't tried that. I've just kept it in the water, but I have heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, and we heard about those through Dr. Barry and Nisha, and they're awesome.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw this one or listened to this one, but I had Dr. Barry on my channel a couple of weeks ago, and that was a dream come true. I was saying if I could pick anyone to talk to, because I really believe that man has helped save more lives than anyone I could imagine, just due to the scale. Like, he puts that message out there. He kind of inspired both of you. He inspired me. Well, then I go on to do carnivore, and then I inspired my daughter, and my mom's doing it. My stepdad's doing it. My sister's doing it. And it's like, wow, if you trace all that back to Dr. Barry inspiring someone, that man has helped so many people.
Wow. Yeah, that's just awesome. But yeah, and just so that you know, um, we we how do I put this? We listen. I mean,
Oh
listening
yeah.
obviously because we can't see with our eyes. Listening is how we watch things. So you don't have to change your vocabulary just because you're talking to a couple of blind people.
Right. Yep.
So, um, but yeah, I'm also a musician. I play drums and
I
I
sent him a
sing.
song.
And but you know, Amy will tell you that I sound like Randy Travis, but I feel like I'm a much better drummer than I am a singer. So,
I really enjoyed the song you sent over. That was great.
well,
I
thank you.
Yeah, I have so many questions.
Well,
So
oh, you
Go
don't
for it.
you don't know until you ask. So fire away.
so have either of you had any vision at all, or have you been blind since you were born?
I've seen before.
Okay.
Yeah, Amy lost her eyesight because of the type 2 diabetes, which we're working very hard to reverse.
Not the end of '99 is probably when I lost most of my sight, and with the doctors retaching the retinas, and I got most of it back in my right eye, but then I lost it due to glaucoma.
Mm.
So about 2003, four, I probably could see light. But yeah, I've drove before and all of that.
Now, for me, I've been blind since birth. I weighed in at birth, weighed in at a pound and 15 ounces, and went down to a pound and 8 ounces, and was 10 and 3/4 inches long. And the doctors told my mom I wouldn't live 10 minutes, and if I lived at all, I'd be a complete vegetable.
Mm.
And in fact, the doctors wouldn't let my mom hold me right at first because they were afraid that she'd get too attached and I wouldn't make it.
Oh wow.
And God obviously had a much different, much bigger plan uh, because here I am today, still kicking butt and taking names.
Yes.
Amy's an excellent cook. She, she cooks all of our burgers, and we're still trying to find a good. Well, I don't know if there is an inexpensive place, but we're mostly eating burger patties and the occasional steak whenever we can get it. But because the meat's just so dang
Expensive.
high, um, and it's just really hard for. I mean, if we could find a decent place that would give us a good amount of meat, for as inexpensive a price as we can get it, I would love for us to get some more meat in here, because sometimes I feel like we're not eating enough in one sitting. Dr. Barry always tells you eat until you're comfortably stuffed, and because we can only afford a certain amount at this point in time, um, we just have to eat and eat sparingly so that we don't run out. And unfortunately, that causes us not to be able to eat as much as I think we can, as we're able to eat until we get full.
Right. And where are you guys from? Where are you living now?
We're living in Conroe, Texas, which is about an hour or so north of Houston.
And so, if you don't mind me asking, are you like on a fixed income, or are you doing anything? I know you're doing the YouTube now.
Well, I actually work. I have a full time, well, not 8 to 5, but you get the gist. It's a full time, 40-hour a week job. And I work as an Apple support technician, or, a technical support person.
Oh wow. Okay.
But of course, with our rent being so high,
Right. So what was the reason for starting the YouTube channel?
We we wanted to get the word out, just like everybody else has been doing. We wanted to do our share to get the word out, get our story out there, and hopefully further encourage folks that,
yeah,
hey, you know, if people like us and people like Bill and even you and Emma and Jen, and if we can all do this, everybody else can too.
I love that. Hey, I want to do anything I can to help you guys with your YouTube channel and get the word out there, because it's very inspiring. Bill's story, your story, and I really think that's what helps people. You can't really tell people, hey, you got to do this carnivore diet. Just trust me. It's more like,
right,
look at us, look at our example, and see what's
Yeah,
happening. And
and
then
that's the best way, is just to live, let people see the changes, and let people witness the changes in your health, mind, body, and spirit, when you have eaten like this for a while.
right.
yeah, because we already had a friend. He was like, "Did you say you're leaving off the meat?" And I'm like, no, that's what we're eating."
And that's all we're eating.
He was like, "Well, what about the cholesterol and what about this?" And I'm like, "That's not true. Everything you've heard before, you need to throw it away."
Yes. Isn't it amazing how everything we've heard is pretty much backwards and the opposite of what is the truth?
Right.
Yeah, it's like, when you start eating like this, you almost have to throw conventional medical science completely out the window.
Yeah. Well, you do that too, and then when you really start thinking about it or listening to Dr. Chafee or Dr. Barry, you're like, wow, a lot of this is just common sense stuff. So many people suffering right now from um, depression and anxiety and sleep issues. It's the science is already there. It's usually because their hormones are unbalanced, and that's easily rebalanced if they're getting enough fatty meat in their diet and their cholesterol goes back up. But it's been demonized for so long that people have been avoiding it. It's like, it's no wonder everyone is getting depression and anxiety and all of these issues. It's really just expected based on what everyone's being told to do, sort of thing. But
Yeah, and it's, we've all become brainwashed uh, to all this medical crap.
yeah, yeah. And if you look into it and you really think about it, it's like, well, what is the motivation behind all of this? It always points people back to what's going to make the most money. It's people eating sugar and processed food, which is in, you go to the grocery store, every single item has sugar
Right.
in it. It's really not a big mystery that all of the forces in the world are pushing people towards that. All you have to do is say meat's going to kill you, demonize meat and scare everyone from eating meat. And what are they going to do? Maybe they'll try to eat a salad for a week, but then they're going to get hungry and they're going to
Yeah.
end up eating sugar and processed garbage and bread and all that stuff in the grocery store that makes those companies billions and billions of dollars. So it's,
Yeah, and those big fatties up there are getting rich, and we're all down here, and complying like good little sheep,
Yeah.
going toward the slaughter.
right.
And Amy and I have decided, among a whole bunch of others of us, like-minded, that we're not gonna continue to live like that. We're gonna eat like we're supposed to. We're gonna get healthy. We're gonna get strong, and we're gonna show the world what we're made of.
I love that.
Yeah. The the way, the total difference on the way that I feel, there's no way I would go back to that other stuff.
And nor would I. I mean, there's just um, we were talking to Rod Bland the other night, and he's also doing carnivore, and he said the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm never going back myself. That was my big thing because I'd done other diets on and off for years, and I had a lot of success with keto, but I gained it all back because I'd get done and then I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to go eat in moderation. And you can't eat any of this regular food in moderation because it's all got sugar and carbs and processed food and stuff like that. So I ended up gaining it all back. But
Yep.
I'm a carnivore for life for sure. I feel
Yeah,
so
we
good.
are. We
Yeah.
are too. Believe me, we are. And so,
'Cause I felt so horrible and I had so much going on. And I told Shane, I said, we got to make a change. We got to do something different.
Right. That's wonderful. I'm so happy for you guys. So you've heard about the Carnivore Diet movie, right? The
yes, we
documentary.
have. In fact, we wanted to make a suggestion, if we can, in regard to that.
Please.
When you start really, putting it together and whatever, and I don't know what stage this has to
I
happen
think
at.
they do that at the end.
Okay, but it would be really cool if this were audibly described for the blind and visually impaired.
Yes.
It's like a
Absolutely.
it's like a separate track if you don't know.
Actually, I'm kind of familiar with it. I'm really glad you mentioned that because that was going to be one of my questions for you. If you guys ever go watch movies,
Oh
uh,
yeah. Oh
my
yeah.
wife and I, it's funny. Today, August 16th, is exactly 1 year since we took over our small town movie theater. It's our anniversary today. I didn't
Oh
even realize
wow.
that. My wife just mentioned it, but yeah, at our theater we have headphones that audibly describe what's going on, and I
Oh
never knew
cool.
about that technology before taking over the theater. That's really interesting. So
Oh
for
yeah. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
very cool.
we haven't been in a while, but before we moved from Houston uh, a few years ago, I mean, shoot, we were going to the movies
Yeah, we'd go quite a bit.
on a regular basis,
uh,
and we'd check out those little headset thingies with the little receiver attached to them, and sit and you know watch a good movie and eat some popcorn and drink some.
Well, not now.
Well, we don't. We would ditch the popcorn and the diet soda, but we would still go and enjoy a movie, and we're hoping to do that in the not too distant future. Now that we both feel better and we both feel like getting out and doing some stuff, um,
yeah.
so
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure. I appreciate that you suggested that too. I hadn't really thought about it, but I kind of did because, yeah, at the movie theater, I never knew about that. So for anyone watching that isn't familiar with what we're talking about, they're headphones, but they audibly describe what's going on the screen. They don't just say the words the actor's saying, but they'll say, for example, actor walked in through the door and sat down at the table, and they'll actually describe what's going on. And I actually watched probably half a movie with one of those on because I thought it was so interesting. And we've got a woman that comes in that uses them all the time, so I'm always make sure to have a couple sets of them charged up and ready to go.
and they even, I mean, because the narration is a separate, like Amy said, it's a separate track so that it doesn't actually interfere with the actual movie. Um, and they even describe facial expressions. Um, Indiana Jones looks at so and so with an expression of whatever, I don't know, but it's that kind of detail that you would miss if you couldn't see the screen.
Right. Yeah.
Or if there's pictures hanging on the wall, sometimes they'll tell you, what the picture looks like or something like that.
Or they, like in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Here's a good example. When they're in Captain Kirk's apartment and the narrator's describing all the antiques and stuff on his fireplace mantle, depicting, old ships and things like that, you really get an idea of what his apartment looked like.
I know those are available at most movie theaters. Do they have that technology at home if you're watching a DVD or something like that at home?
Well, interestingly enough, a lot of them do have the descriptive audio tracks in them, but here lately we've been getting a lot of stuff off of different streaming services like Netflix and Paramount Plus and some others, and they have the audio description,
Available.
available on those. You just have to set your phone up to get it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate that suggestion and definitely want to do that. And I guess my other question was, we're still really early, so I went out and filmed Bill. I just got back from Alaska 2 days ago, and that was an experience for sure.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet so.
Yeah, he is such an amazing story. I mean, even the weight loss and all of that aside, that man has lived several lives before any of this even happened, and I really enjoyed talking to him. And he's got a really good start to the documentary. That was the first part of it that we filmed. But are you guys interested in participating in the Carnivore Diet documentary?
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
That that
I think that'd be a great story to include.
that
Like I said, we're still really early and trying to figure out logistics and all this stuff, and we're still fundraising. But I would love to talk to you
Yeah,
guys more.
actually,
And
I was just thinking about that. That would be kind of cool because we have lots of devices and stuff that we have that you can use and that would be kind of cool to talk about.
yeah,
because we I mean, Carrie, we're so in with this carnivore thing and we're so passionate about we want to do anything and everything we can to help get that word out. So if 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 being in this documentary would help, uh, you know, get our story out and help uh, in some way aid in other people, encouraging other people. Like I said before, hey, if we can do this,
Yeah.
other people can too.
yes. Yeah, I think that's going to be the case for sure. That's what I've seen. I keep encouraging everyone that's doing carnivore. I'm like, start a YouTube channel. So I'm so happy to see that both of you have started a YouTube channel. It's so inspiring for people. And there's other people out there that are maybe in a similar situation as you both are, and you're going to be able to speak to them better than anyone else can. But even if they're not in your situation, it's just like you were saying, Shane. Um, it's inspiring what you guys are doing. It's inspiring what Bill is doing in Alaska. It's really, frankly, inspiring. I think anyone that decides to start carnivore, because it goes against everything you've ever been told your whole life. You got to kind of be brave and you got to be smart to do it, because everyone is kind of just goes along with the flow of things and they don't really think about it. And it's yeah, there's sure something to it. So
And this
yeah,
is kind of funny. I don't know if it's the change in our eating, but sitting here talking to you on camera, this isn't me.
Amy's normally a very shy person.
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm behind the camera, not in front of it.
Well, you're doing wonderful, and it is carnivore, because I will tell you something, Amy. I had the worst anxiety before, and the thing I feared the most in the world was getting on phone calls or meetings with customers. For 10 years, I had to do that, and for 10 years, every single time, I've said this before on my channel, I would literally be in my car on my lunch break, like I'm just going to crash into this tree so I can get out of this phone call. I hated doing it so much.
Wow.
That that anxiety, like if you still have it a little bit, it will go away more and more on carnivore. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's something too, because I think back at all those times I was anxious, and none of those things ever came to fruition. It was just such wasted energy. And it's not your fault. It wasn't my fault. People just do it, but it's such a weird thing. Like Dr. Chafee said this before, that it's so funny, all the ailments and issues humans have. You never see in animals in the wild that are just eating their natural diet. You don't see
Right.
animals with anxiety or depression, or they're snoring at night,
Right.
or all these issues. And he's like, yeah, it's just because they're eating what they're supposed to. If you fed those animals the standard American diet, they'd probably start snoring and having anxiety and all these issues that we have.
Yep. Yep.
But
Well, and it's like I was actually on the phone earlier with a customer. One of my tech support calls that I took, and we were having to wait for some stuff to happen, and I started talking to him about carnivore and got him all psyched up, and he's ready to try it,
Yes.
and told him about our channel and everything else, and so I'm hoping that he tries it and subscribes to the channel and all this stuff. So, and one of the things we were talking about is he was talking about drinking milk, and I'm going, oh, I'm thinking to myself, oh, good God, why would you want to drink that horrible stuff? And I said, well, here's a little bit of food for thought, is that we humans are the only species on the planet that still drinks milk after we've been weaned from our mothers.
Yeah.
And I think I stopped him in his tracks. He was like, whoa, I never even gave that any thought.
Plus, a lot
Right.
of people don't think about it. It's full of sugar.
Yeah, and just especially the way they process it today. Oh my God, I wouldn't put that stuff in my body any more than even if somebody paid me to do it, I wouldn't do it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of those things too. When you say it like that, then it's like, wow, that is just common sense stuff. But yeah, people don't think of it that way. I didn't think of it that way either when I was little and growing up on it. But yeah, it's sure something. That's really great though that you're convincing someone. When Emma and I went to Alaska, I don't know if you guys saw this part in the video I did, but there was the shuttle bus driver at the airport. I had this big conversation with him. It was so cool. He was sadly his father had passed away from diabetes.
Wow.
But I just mentioned to him, I was like, "Oh, we're in Chicago. You guys must have good steaks here." Like, duh. But just to kind of open the conversation up, and he just opened right up, and I only had about 10 minutes, but I'm pretty confident at the end of that conversation, he left and he was watching Dr. Berry videos because he was very interested in it.
Wow.
We made up these shirts called "I eat only meat. Ask me why." And so I was wearing that shirt, and I was trying to get people to start a conversation with me. It's kind of fun.
Oh wow. I'm gonna get a sip of water here if y'all don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So while Shane does that, I guess another question I had was, do you guys have friends or family or acquaintances nearby that are kind of weary of your carnivore diet or questioning you at all? Or
We really haven't told anybody, and it's for that exact reason.
yeah.
Well, my sister knows, and I've been trying to work with her because she's also type 2. And she's probably really the only one right now.
And I think she's still traveling down the river of denial, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I got that with a lot of my family when they would come over. You could see them, they were kind of interested, like, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong here, or subconsciously asking more questions about it, but they just can't wrap their brain around it quite yet. But really surprised that when my daughter Emma, the vegan, did a whole turnaround and decided to try it. So, but
Yeah, because from what we've seen in the vegan world, some of them, the thought of meat just disgusts them for whatever reason.
Yeah. I thought that was the same with Emma too, and it wasn't the case. Well, it took her a while. It was very hard for her to adjust back into it. But once she had that bacon, she was converted over.
Wow, that would, I mean, because I don't know anybody in the world that doesn't love a little bit of bacon.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And as Dr. Berry is always touting, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs.
Right. Yeah, if you ever get cravings too, bacon's great for that. So on your YouTube, like, has that been a challenge at all? Kind of the logistics of filming it, or do you just film off of your computer screen, or how does that work?
We just use right now we're just using the camera on my laptop here, and but hopefully in the not too distant future we'll be getting probably a GoPro.
Although now that we kind of adjusted your camera in the beginning there, you guys are framed in really nicely now. So
okay, awesome.
Yeah. So one other question, if you don't mind, on the food and the prep. So Amy does most of the cooking. Do you also do your own grocery shopping, or how does that work, getting the food?
Yeah, I mostly use Instacart, or here lately we've been using Sam's Delivery where they deliver it.
Right.
That's been working out really good.
Did you have any issues during the COVID stuff?
Mm,
Uh,
not
Not
really,
really.
not really to speak of. Thank God, none of us, neither of us got it.
Right. Yeah, that's one of my thoughts too. Is like, if I were to get it, I'd be wouldn't be as worried if I was on carnivore, because I feel so much healthier. My immune system feels so much stronger
Yeah,
eating this way. I've been going 140 days or so now. I haven't had any sickness or sniffles or allergies or anything at all. Um,
wow.
it makes sense too, because I'm not putting that toll on my body before processing all that waste we used to process. Dr. Chafee was saying that. I had a call with him, and he was like, when you go to the grocery store and you see all that bread and Doritos and all that stuff, he's like, not to be indelicate, but it's just waste in and then waste out. It's just, and
Yeah,
then you're putting that huge toll on your body to process through all that junk that doesn't have any nutrition for you at all. And then you do
no.
that for decades and decades. And then, of course, if something comes around, the flu or whatever it may be, you're probably going to end up getting sick, because your body's just spending all of this energy trying to process all of that junk. Your body's
Yeah,
probably just like, what are you doing to me? Why are you doing this? I,
yeah,
I've said that to people now. I feel like on carnivore, my body's like, finally, after 42 years, you figured out what to put in and feed me. This is all you had to do the whole time, and everything would have been fine.
wow. That's awesome. But the cool thing is, we're all figuring it out together, and we're all just, if you don't mind me saying, we're all going to just continue to kick butt and take names.
Yes, no, I love it. It's true. And yeah, the communities helped me out immensely. And um, it's so nice to be able to just talk to people and see other people. That's one thing I would encourage you guys with your YouTube channel. I've seen a lot of success with it. It sounds so kind of silly, but you know what people really love on YouTube is just updates. Like, we're on day 67. This is what we ate today, and this is what's going on, and this is what I feel. Those little daily updates, for some reason or other, those really do well on YouTube. It's just, I think people are, maybe they're heading towards that day, or they're past that day, but they just want to know what other people are up to, and it helps them out for some reason. I'm not sure, but I wanted to invite you guys too, if you're interested. I'd love to help promote your YouTube channel some more. I think what you guys are doing is wonderful. I think you're going to really inspire a lot of people. We did that 10-hour live stream a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
uh, that was really kind of insane. I did a video with Dr. Chafee, and it went for 4 hours, a live stream. And at
Wow.
the end of 4 hours, I was like, wow, that was 4 hours. It kind of flew by. And then I got this thing in my head. What if we did a 10-hour live stream? That sounds kind of extreme. That would be kind of interesting. Anyhow, we did that, and it went really well. Now we're doing a 24-hour carnivore live stream. It's on September 16th, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern time, 7 a.m. Central. So
September 16th. I'm trying to think in my head when that is.
yeah,
Um,
it's a Saturday. Well, actually, I should double check now. I'm pretty sure it's a Saturday.
Saturday. I know I'm going to probably be working.
You
Uh,
might get off.
huh?
You might could get off.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get that day off. It may depend on how much PTO I can rack up between now and then. But
Sure.
um,
Well, the other option too is if you couldn't get off, it is a full 24 hours. So even if you just wanted to, and it's no pressure, I just wanted to invite you, but even if you just wanted to pop on for 20 minutes or something, it's
oh,
going
we
24 hours. So it'll be from the 16th to the 17th. I'm going to be on there the whole time.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
believe me, we would love to participate. Any opportunity we have from anybody, whether it's you or anybody, anytime that we can help spread the word and spread the love and all this, about the carnivore way of life and its benefits, we're all for that.
Yeah, I love that. So I'll send you some more info. Open invitation. It's like I said, it's going for 24 hours. And here's the thing we're doing. I'm inviting all of the good doctors. So I'm thinking Dr. Chafee will be there. The last one we did, Dr. Barry tried to get on, but I didn't organize it well. And I've got a carnivore team. These guys are amazing. Adam and Alia and a bunch of folks that are carnivores. They're volunteering their time to help this, but we've been working on this like every day. So it's going to be much more organized is my point. And maybe there'll be a point where Dr. Barry's on or Dr. Chafee's on. That we're trying to get a world record. I think it'll be kind of fun, but it's not going to be just that. It's also going to be, we're going to have different sessions. Like one of them we were going to do actually with Rod, who we were just talking about from Live Strong. He's got a wonderful channel. He's done a lot of stuff on YouTube. We're going to do a session on how to succeed at YouTube as a carnivore, or a carnivore YouTube channel, something like that. A lot of people have been asking me for tips and ideas. I want to set up YouTube, but I don't know how. So we're going to do a little session on that. We're going to have lots of little sessions throughout the 24 hours. But the ultimate goal is we're trying to raise the remaining funds we need for the Carnivore Diet documentary. We raised a whole bunch last time. I'm so thankful for that. But yeah, so we'll see if Emma stays up all night, but I'm going to be on there for 24 hours. Emma's going to try to hang in there for 24, and it's going to be exciting because you could pop on at any time, and maybe there's Dr. Barry on there, or maybe it's one of your other favorite carnivore YouTubers that are going to be on there. It's going to be a lot of people, so it should be a lot of fun. We're putting together kind of a schedule and a plan, but yeah, I'm telling people like, hey, if you can pop in and pop off, there may be some times where it's filled up, so we're trying to organize around that, but yeah, we would love to have you. And I'll, well, I'm going to shout out your YouTube channel here. I really like what you guys are doing. I have it scrolling on the bottom of the screen this while we're talking here. So it says follow Shane and Amy on YouTube at Sightless Carnivores. So yeah, I encourage everyone who watches my channel, go check them out and support them. I always say this, anyone that's doing YouTube for carnivore, I will support and promote. A rising tide lifts all ships, and your guys' message is wonderful and great. We need to get that out to more people, and we'll do a big shout out too if you come on the live stream. We did that last time. It was really fun. We would go on people's channels and we'd say, oh, look, they've got 300 subscribers. Let's get them to 1,000. And then all of a sudden everyone would rush over and subscribe real quick. It was really cool.
Yeah.
We did that for Rod on the live stream. I think that was yesterday or the day before. I did a live stream with Bill. And Rod, our mutual friend that was helping you out with YouTube, he was on there, and I think he was 300 away from hitting 1,000 subscribers, which everyone on YouTube wants 1,000. That's when you can get monetized and things start happening. Anyways, we got him there. I said, everyone go subscribe. And he went from, I don't know, 650 to, I checked this morning, he was over 1,000. So he was at like 1,050 or something. So that was really cool.
Wow, that's amazing. I wait for the day when we can get there and hopefully surpass that.
Yes. Well, the first 1,000 is the hardest, but hey, you guys got a new friend here in Carrie. I love your story. I love talking to you, and I'm going to do everything I can to help promote your story. And maybe we can get together and do another one of these, but definitely on the live stream.
Oh yeah. Carnivores are tough.
Yes, for sure. You'd mentioned yesterday when we were talking that one of the challenges is meat and purchasing meat. It's so expensive. And I think Shane even said yesterday that it's a struggle. Sometimes you worry maybe you're not eating enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
now with your news today.
Yeah.
We need to really get this YouTube thing going to see if it can help us
make a little money, because I was in my job, I was able to work a lot of extra overtime, and just to bring us a little bit of extra money. And I got the news today that that's been pretty much stifled or stopped, unless I'm stuck on a call or something, helping somebody with a support issue. But so that's gonna hurt my wallet just a little bit.
Wow. So. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So you were telling me yesterday you're struggling to buy steaks on your income, and now your income's going down pretty drastically.
Yeah.
I want to help you guys out as much as I can. I think YouTube is great. If you can keep doing videos, we can help promote your channel. I will help promote your channel. It still takes a long time. The other thing we did with Bill was that big fundraiser. I don't know if that's something you guys are interested in. And there's always a couple options there. With Bill, we did the GoFundMe to try to buy him like the half a cow. And that just went crazy, as I'm sure you heard. But the other option too with YouTube that might be good for you guys as well, and this one, there's pros and cons to each, but there's Patreon. Are you guys familiar with Patreon?
Oh yeah,
we've
heard of it, but we've never really investigated, trying to get on there.
Yeah. And our mutual friend Rod, who is helping you out with some stuff, I think he's probably more of an expert at that than I am, but I'm pretty familiar with it. And it's basically a program where you can sign up, and then people that want to see more content from you, because you guys are putting some inspiring content out there. You guys have an interesting story too, if you're willing to film more of it. Just even the things that are probably boring to you would be very interesting to other people, like how you use a computer with no monitor, or how you order your groceries, or videos like that. I think people would find very interesting. Maybe people that have visual impairments, or from the carnivore side too, the fact that you guys you're thriving on carnivore doing all of this, and you still have all these other things to overcome. But anyhow, with Patreon, you can put it up there, and you can have a link, and you can have a Patreon account, and then people can donate, and they can say, for every video Shane and Amy puts out, we will donate $20. Or they can do it by month. So sometimes they'll do it per video or per month. You guys can set it up however you want. If you do it per month, it's just like they're paying a subscription for Shane and Amy content, and you put some videos up, and then they're supporting you because they want you to be able to support yourself, and they want you to be able to do more videos like that, which sounds like exactly what you need. So if Shane has more free time now because he can't do the overtime, well, maybe he could do more YouTube videos, but then make the income that way. Hey, I bet you it'll be a lot more rewarding for you too, though, Shane, because you do these videos, you start inspiring people, and then those comments come in. I was only going to do one video, but I keep getting these comments about how people are changing their lives forever, and your story inspired them, and it's like you want to just keep doing more and more of that. There's nothing more rewarding than that. Yeah, maybe start with the GoFundMe and see how it goes, and then you could always decide Patreon. The only big difference and thing to consider is the Patreon is nice because it could be forever.
Right.
People will sign up on a monthly basis. A lot of them just do it and they just set it and forget it. And so 6 months from now, you could have that reoccurring income.
Right.
GoFundMe is nice because, well, Bill got all that money, but now it's kind of starting to stop, which is still amazing because he got so much. But say you got $500 on GoFundMe, that would be a big blessing, of course.
Right.
But that could just be it, and then nothing else, where the Patreon could go on forever. But you could always start with GoFundMe.
Yeah, we could always do both.
Do both, yeah. Or do Patreon a little bit later, or whenever you have time to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe try the GoFundMe. Is that something you guys think you could set up, or?
I don't see any problem with it.
Okay.
I mean, if
we've never really looked at it, but
we haven't looked at it. But if we run into a snag or something, I'm sure we could get a hold of you or Rod or somebody to help us, give us a hand if we needed it.
Yeah, Rod was trying to help me last night with that link thing. Because the thing is I can send messages when you're doing a live on the chat. But if someone was to write me back or something, it's really not totally where I can.
Because those chats go by so fast.
It jumps around on me, and
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. See, that would be another good YouTube video, watching how that works on your side. I can't keep up with it on my side either.
So I think what we've decided to do is, when and if we do a live stream like that, we would ask people to please email us with any questions or comments.
Right.
And, because it's easier for us to check the email than it would be jumping around all over creation, looking for and answering everybody's comments on the live chat.
Right.
Yes, that's a great idea. And one other option too is, if you ever want to do, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but if you can do a live stream with someone else. So I can do, I can have Shane and Amy on my live stream, but then you can also put it on yours at the exact same time. It's like a simultaneous live stream.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then I have seen that.
Yeah, it's great then, because then your audience gets introduced to my audience, and it's kind of cross promotion. But something like that too, when the comments come through, I normally go through them and click on them, and then I display them on the screen, and I'll read them. So that could be an option too if we ever did one together, which I'm totally open to doing that at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we would be open to that also. And like you said, we're both fired up and passionate about this, and we just want to get the word out and spread the joy and the love. And I mean, I've had, in the past 2 days, I've spoken to 2 customers, people that I had to help with various support issues with either their Macs or their iPhones or whatever, and I've turned 2 people on to Carnivore so far.
That's amazing. I love that. Yeah, I keep wearing my shirt. I eat only meat. Ask me why. I keep trying to get more people. I was telling Lily, my oldest, I said, we should just go on the side of the road and make a sign and say, I eat only meat. Ask me why, and see if anyone stops. It'd be a fun YouTube video, but I bet you I could.
Yeah,
I could convert a few people over. I might actually do that. I'm crazy enough to do that. Carnivores don't have any anxiety or shame or anything like that. So that'd be a fun one. You guys are great. Like I said, we're friends now forever. I'm here if you need anything, but let's do this thing with the GoFundMe. I'm excited. Okay. Again, I wouldn't get my hopes up like the bill thing, but I'm sure we can get enough to help you out with the meat for sure. And I'm happily help with that and promoting your YouTube.
Yeah, and you have friends for life in us too. So
appreciate it. I really do. And when we do the documentary, I would really love to come down to Texas there and capture your story for sure.
Hey,
okay, cool.
We'd love that.
Yeah,
maybe turn you on to some really good Texas barbecue.
Oh, Shane, don't get me started. My smoker broke. So
no.
I've been smoking up ribs carnivore style, no sugar, no sauce, and they've been delicious, but my smoker broke and I've been dying for some good smoked meat. And yeah, Texas is the place to go. All right. So this has been wonderful. I just one last shout out. Everyone go check out Shane and Amy on YouTube, Sightless Carnivores. I will leave a link in the description below, and we will be talking again. I really enjoyed this. Thank you both so much.
Oh, you're welcome. And can I give a shameless plug for our email address?
Yes, please do. Any plugs you want at all.
Okay. So our email address, should anybody want to contact us with any questions or anything, it's sightlesscarnivores@gmail.com. And of course, you can check out Carrie and all the great stuff he's doing at homesteadhow@gmail.com.
Absolutely. So, hey, we're new friends now. Carnivores are friends forever. So if you guys ever need anything from me, or you want to do another video together, I'd love to do that sometime for sure.
Yeah, and you have definitely you have friends in us, and even though we don't know Emma or Jen yet, we consider them friends as well, and the rest of your family too.
That's lovely. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my interview with Shane and Amy. They are the best. Inspirational story for sure. Please go check out their channel and subscribe. We got to get them to 1,000 subscribers. Link is in the description below. Shane just lost a whole bunch of hours at his job, so they're really struggling, and I'd like to help them out. I was the first to donate at their GoFundMe. The GoFundMe link is also in the description below. If you can spare some money, I think it'll really help them out and go a long way for 2 really good people that need some help right now, struggling to purchase meat. So links in the description. Subscribe to their YouTube channel, check out their GoFundMe, and look forward to the 24-hour live stream. Going to have Shane and Amy on there, and I'm looking forward to heading down there and filming them for the Carnivore Diet documentary as well. Thanks so much for watching.